I just saw your video about them people who want to build that mosque there in the whole city of New York, here in America. And I noticed that you uh, were letting other people give their opinion, either written or video. I thought, well, this time I sent one long video. I don't do a lot of these video responses for my own reasons. Some people say it's the reason I don't do it is because I don't look good and I'm stupid. I just prefer to say I got my own reasons. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. First thing I noticed about your video, uh, and this is just my opinionation. Uh, some people call it critiquing. Some people call it an evaluation, or other people call it criticism. I prefer to call it uh, opinionation. So, first thing I'd like to opinionate about, you're a real pretty fella. Yeah, and you got a real pretty mouth. Yeah, you do. And you got a lot of big fancy words that you'd like to send out of that mouth. Some people say that perhaps you're articulate and you're able to venture into broad horizons of social discourse. I prefer to say that you use big, pretty words to come out of your big, pretty mouth. Yeah, that's what I think. Anyhow, first thing I noticed is that you dug into Christians, and you were saying the Christians wanted to violate the the rights of these Mohammedans or these Muslims to build this mosque there, uh, and that it was the extreme right wing Christians that were doing it. Well, I just want to tell you, buddy, that I'm thinking myself of perhaps being of that nomenclature, but that's not what we're about, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to violate anybody's rights when it comes to worship, freedom of assembly, or what they want to do, or where they want to build their house, or their houses of worship, or anything like that. And I think most Christians feel the same way that I do, even those of us on the far right, you know what I'm saying? Therefore, I think you owe us an apology, my friend. All right. And I think that's what your Prophet Muhammad and your God Allah would have you to do. You know what I'm saying? Apologize a little bit. That would be very nice on your part. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The next thing I'd like to talk about is that for over 8 minutes, you went on about how people want to keep violating these people's rights or denying their rights to do this. And then when you finally came down to giving your own opinionation, you say you wouldn't do it. But it's important. You didn't really, explain why. Some people would say you didn't expound upon the matter, or you didn't do a very good hermeneutics on it. I just have to say that you really didn't talk about it much, and that you really should give more of an opinion as to why. You know what I'm saying? Now, the last thing I wanted to discuss was that uh, I'd like to read a quote I heard earlier this week, and it pretty much expresses uh, how I feel concerning how the Muslim culture looks at us, right? And that'd be us fundamentalist evangelical, born again, Bible believing, Jesus trusting Christians. There should be no mosque on ground or near ground zero in the holy city of New York. I added that holy in there myself. Is so as long as there are no churches, synagogues in Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying? The time for double standards could allow the Islamists to behave aggressively towards us while they demand our weakness and our submission is over. Now I realize that you all say that the Holy Koran is the Word of God. Well, I disagree. I think Jesus Christ is the Word of God. And since you feel you're so right, why are you so afraid of letting us build a little missionary Baptist church there in Saudi Arabia? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hurt nobody. I ain't out to cut nobody's throats. And by the way, you'd say that's pretty narrow-minded of me. And you'd also think this is pretty narrow-minded of me. But everything I ever needed to learn about Islam was taught to me by 19 Muslims on September 11th, 2001. You all have a nice day, and I might give you some video responses in the future.